Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video guys, I'm saying goodbye to the titanium Flux core 125 welder from Harbor Freights. This was my first ever welder that I got from Harbor Freights to learn how to weld, and we've used it quite a bit over the last year or so. You've seen those videos where I was trying to weld, learning a lot of mistakes guys. We went blind for a little bit, and here we are, and I'm ready to upgrade guys. And I found a buyer for the titanium flux core welder, so we're actually meeting up with that gentleman right now. We're gonna sell him the full package. We're including yes welder wire that's in here and another whole set 2-pound of wire right over there, so he's gonna be good to go. He can practice welding, and this shouldn't give him any problems because it didn't give me any problems. I highly recommend this welder, but I just figured on this video I might as well make a review for you guys of the titanium flux core welder that I bought from Harbor Freights. So here we go. Alright guys, so you're probably clicking on this video because you're thinking about buying one of these welders, these flux core welders, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you are just starting off, you're trying to get your hands dirty with welding, this is a perfect starting point, and that's exactly where I started from. Some people might tell you to start with stick, you know, but stick is a lot more complicated and you're probably going to mess up a lot more. You might learn more, but again, I learned a lot just through flux core welding, and I'm going to give you guys my honest review of using the Harbor Freight flux core welder that we got, I think, on sale for about $1.50, and we forgot the gloves. We're selling the goddamn welded to someone, and I forgot the gloves at home. Alright, we are back with some delays, but again, let's continue with the topic on hand, the flux core welder. So I had no problems with this welder whatsoever. You plug it in, it's working good, there's no issues whatsoever. I was first and foremost worried that it would not run from the power source of my garage, because it does recommend, I believe it was a 20 amp fuse. I don't know what we have in the garage, probably 10, 15 maybe, but it only tripped the fuse one time, and I think I had an extension cord on top of all that, and you know, an extension cord is not recommended when you're welding. But other than that, no problems with the welder. I mean, I really had no idea what I was doing with this welder in the beginning, dabbing it, burning through stuff. Even through all that abuse, it worked flawlessly and didn't have any hiccups, didn't give me any hiccups. I ran through the whole factory wire that comes with the welder when you first buy it. Then I upgraded wires into a yes welder wire, which I highly recommend if you guys are welding with the flux core welder. There's definitely an improvement in the welds and the quality with a better wire, so highly recommend investing in a better wire once your factory one runs out. And the portable size of the flux core welder here is just amazing. I was originally going to go with the Chicago electric welder because it was about $50 cheaper, but the bulky size of it was just huge, and that one was actually running on AC, whereas this one is running, it has an AC to DC converter, which is a better type of technology, and that's definitely what you want. But for anyone running this welder for like fencing and thicker metals to weld posts and stuff like that, you will not have any issues with this welder. I've welded with this welder probably 3, 4, 5 hours at a time trying to weld exhausts and stuff like that, and it never overheated on me. There was no issues. So again, it's a good damn welder for the money, especially if you get it on sale for the sale price of $150. The only thing is, you got to really make sure you're buying a welder for the types of jobs you will be doing. You see, I'm more involved in like the automotive world, so you know, something like exhaust welding, downpipe welding, pie cuts, that's something I want to do eventually with the welding skills that I have, which I don't have yet. But a flux core welder is not good for that. First of all, It's not the best with thin metals like sheet metal and little mufflers and whatnot. So you're better off with a MIG or a TIG. TIG is where I want to go. So I'm hoping to sell this one, and eventually maybe if you guys have any good TIG welders that you recommend, I want to get into a TIG machine probably here within the next year or so. So if you guys have any recommendations, jot those down below. And I want to expand my knowledge with welding, TIG welding, so maybe in the future we can do some custom piping for like intercooler, exhaust, any other BS part that we need to weld, we'll weld it by ourselves. Long story short, definitely buy this welder if you're in the market for it. If you're in the market for a flux core welder and you have two options, whether it's the Chicago Electric or this one, honestly, you can't go wrong with either one. I honestly feel like I outgrew this welder already. You might be in the same situation, so don't spend all this money on a flux core welder to learn how to get the gist of welding, because like I said, you'll outgrow it shortly after, and then you'll realize once you get dirty. See, I learned a lot through my mistakes, so once I got involved, I figured things out myself. Now I kind of know what I need for the things I need to weld, which again is not a flux core welder. But hopefully this video helps you guys out. If it does, leave a like button, follow the channel, subscribe. I appreciate it, guys. Good luck, and I'll see you. Peace.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along.